As a beginner Amazon seller, I thought it was going to be too difficult to ever see significant income because I didn't have much time to dedicate to my business. And I know you're probably feeling that too because you want to start or grow your Amazon side hustle, but the 9-to-5 job, going to little Timmy's soccer practice, hanging out with friends after school, it's getting in the way. But the nice part about selling on Amazon that I realized on my way to selling over $6 million since I started was that the best part might just be how flexible selling on Amazon really is. And to prove that you shouldn't limit your goals just because you don't have a ton of time to spend on the business, I'm going to put 15 minutes on the clock right now. I'm going to show you my favorite way to source Amazon products with as little time as possible. And at the end of the video, we're going to see how much money we were able to make together. Let's just jump in and start having some fun here, because what you're going to start selling on Amazon is items like this. You can see this is just like a pair of cargo pants. It sells for 42 bucks on Amazon. And I started looking for this brand specifically because it is a brand that JCPenney sells. You can see JCPenney sells it for about $13.50. So I can just buy these for $13.50, sell them for $42, which is what they're selling for right now, and make about $13 in profit. And for us to start sourcing products together, this is going to be our starting point. All you need to find that next product for yourself is a random starting point, being an item like this. Because it's sold from a big retail store, that tells me that the other people on this listing are probably also buying this product from retail stores, probably lots of other retail stores, and so on. Again, if you're really confused on where to start, you can also just look at retail store brands specifically. Think Great Value, Vitacost brand things. There's tons of different starting points, and in this challenge we'll probably find some other starting points that you can start sourcing inventory from as well. On this page view, we're able to see all of the products that this seller carries, what brands they carry, what categories they carry. And usually this is how I've sourced the vast majority of the products that I've sold on Amazon, because to be honest, if it's already working for another Amazon seller, there's no reason that it can't work for you as well, right? So let's just go ahead and start looking at their most popular brand. They have 150 of these products, so clearly they're pretty good at sourcing this brand, and together we'll be able to see if we can find these items profitably at all. Let's go ahead and just Google these items. What we're looking for on here is to buy these items for the suggested max cost that SellerAmp is telling us for sourcing products. This is just going to make the game a lot faster, because what we can start to do is start to ask ourselves, hey, do I think I can buy that for $13? And if we don't think, we can start skipping it. If we do, then we can look further, right? So what I'm learning here in this case is that these men's underwear here in this case are like 28 bucks. We need to buy those for 13. So I can skip the ones that aren't quite very close to profitable. A lot of these we might be able to find some kind of coupons, discounts, that kind of thing. I'm sure that'll come up, but for this, we're going to go ahead and have to skip those. And that takes us on to another item here. So we'll go ahead and check out the Google results here. So let's see, 47 bucks. We can also check and see if there's any kind of coupon or anything like that going on. So potentially on some of these, you can see the headline shows me there's a 25% coupon on some items. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. That one doesn't seem to be one. Like I said, we're on a little bit of a time challenge today, so I'm going to go a little bit faster than I might normally. Hopefully this makes sense though. As I'm looking through here, I'm just trying to find item matches that are probably somewhat profitable as well. So let's see. What I actually do want to do is check and see if these are on that sale, just because I think these are profitable if that coupon works. The last time I didn't really care to experiment with it. This one I definitely do, because this is, I think, let's just call it 37. I think it was like 35.70. And if we can get 25% off, so just times 0.75, then yeah, this item is profitable. So let's do a little bit of experimenting together. Let's see, is there any kind of coupon? Extra 25% off. Okay, cool. So yeah, it does actually look like we're able to get this 25% off. This is a free membership club. Basically every website, there's ways to get a little bit extra layers of discount, whether that is plugging in an email to get an email code, or just like signing up for their program. In this case, see, the 15% off is already working. See, we're already getting that. So we just need to sign in and we'll get that 25% off. So that's great. There's a profitable item right off the bat. For the sake of the challenge, let's also figure out how much of this we would buy so we can keep a running profit total as well. So to figure out how much inventory I like to buy, this is really important. This is something that I didn't know about for a long time. I like to go to data offers on Keepa, and then I'll include historical, and I will sort by sold last 30 days. So this isn't perfect, but I want to explain what this data is. It's basically showing me the stock count and price over the entire history of this item. The reason why it's not perfect is because someone can actually go in here and set a maximum order quantity. So let's say this person right here has actually sold 100 of them, but they've set a maximum order quantity at 3. That means that it's going to look like their stock count has never decreased, but really they've sold a bunch of this inventory. So I just want to say that's a little bit complicated here early in the video, but when I'm reading this data, this is basically showing me how fast this item actually sells. So it seems like this person is selling quite a few during May and June. So they were selling like 10 every 10 to 15 days. It's slowed down a little bit since then. So on this specific item, I think I would probably just start with 10, especially for the running total. I want to be very transparent with it, that kind of thing. Personally, I might buy like 20 and stock up a little bit, but for the running total, let's say we bought 10 of these, call it $95 in profit, round down a little bit, because it is around 10 bucks in profit per unit. All right, we got 90 bucks in profit going so far. Let's keep it going and see what else we can find. So we got, seems like a hoodie pullover kind of thing. Let's see, is that 53? I don't think that's going to be enough discount there. We can double check. The other issue is that this only sells 10 times times a month. So I'm actually not even going to waste our time there. Usually I only look for things that sell at least 30-ish times a month, sometimes 20 if it's like a really, high ROI, that kind of thing. Let's see. So I'm checking out these right here because they sell pretty well, and we need to buy this polo for 25 bucks. See, our coupon can get us down 25% off 35. So let's see what we can do here, because there's also some extra ways that we can create some bonus profit margin here, which might actually come into play. So 35 bucks minus our 25% off discount, that brings us to a 650 profit, but the ROI is a little bit thin. So what I can do now is I can actually go to cardbear.com. This basically shows me a bunch of different websites where I can buy discounted gift cards for these websites. For example, I can go to Card Center and buy a discounted gift card. Let's see, what are these gift cards? Yeah, that's perfect, right? So I can go and I can buy 20 plus of these $165 gift cards for $155, right? So that immediately increases the margin of this purchase, because I can go in here and instead of paying full price, now I've basically gotten a 6% discount, which actually makes this item profitable. So that's actually a perfect example of why this stuff is so important in creating your profit margin, not just hoping that price on the website is a lot cheaper than it is on Amazon. We're actually able to create our profit on that listing, which is cool. Let's see. I'm going to assume we're probably going to test order another 10 or so here, so we can probably add 80 bucks. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm seeing lots of different sellers selling a little bit slowly, not the fastest seller in the world, but I still want to stock in 10, see how fast we can sell it here. So let's go ahead and add another 80 bucks in profit, round down a little bit to that running total. Let's see. I bet these are profitable, but they only sell 9 times a month, just because I want to test my intuition here. Yeah, see, the 3-pack is 28, and we know we can get a 25% discount just for the hell of it. Let's see. Like I was just saying, a lot of these items, I have been liking selling some of these items that say they sell pretty slow, if we can see some of these sales happening on the offers tab. And honestly, this is a pretty good example, because do you see how that stock count is decreasing? If we just add up all of these, that's 22 sales, and that only says 9. So just take all the data you're seeing, but also just trust your own gut on some of this stuff. So I actually don't mind this. For the sake of the challenge, I would probably only buy 5 of these. For my store, I'd probably get 10, but like I said, I want to keep that number realistic on what we actually find here in a second. But let's see, 28 minus 25%, and then we also know we can get that 6% discounted gift card. So yeah, since these are $11 profit per unit, I don't hate that at all. So let's just go ahead and add another 50 bucks in profit to the running total down there in the bottom right, and let's keep on trucking. So a lot of these sell a little bit slower. This one is another one of those like slower sellers. I bet it's profitable. Yeah, honestly, we could add a lot of these. I want to try to stick to my guns on these faster selling things just for the running total here. So let's see, we got like a 4-pack here. Let's see if this 4-pack is profitable for us. And when I'm sourcing inventory, if you ever end up on a really good, just kind of niche rabbit trail kind of thing, where in this case, just looked at their most popular brand, it seems like there's a really good sale, maybe for Labor Day or something like that around here that's going on and really increasing the profitability. I'll just keep hammering in on that niche. If I check the first like 5 to 10 products in a brand in a storefront and nothing's even close to profitable, I'll end up checking out a different brand, different category, that kind of thing. So that's just kind of my thought process on where to go when. Let's see, vintage blue, red, black, gray, multi. I think blue ocean is different from this one right here. What we can do though is we can see if any of these other versions are nice and expensive. So this is also where I like to use Keepa. So SellerAmp and Keepa for sourcing products is all you need. There are some like other tools out there, but they're pretty much all overkill. You don't really need that, because a lot of the times the tools that claim to like automatically source products and stuff are going to miss all the best items as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. But what I want to do here is filter out things that Amazon is selling. So I can go no value to Amazon, and then I want to go to the new offer price, which is like I actually need to toggle on my Keepa right now. So we got new current price. I'm going to filter that from the highest to the lowest. And now I've got a list in order of things that Amazon doesn't sell, so I don't have to worry about competing with Amazon, and what is just the highest price, right? If it's a higher price, it makes sense that I'm probably going to have more success getting that item profitably. So let's see, are any of these like multi-packs or anything? The one that we were looking at, they got like a gray multi-pack, got like a reddish multi-pack. Let's see, there's that blue one we were looking for. Here's gray. Is $36 profitable for us? Maybe. So the gray multi is 28 bucks. The extra large on the gray multi-pack that we definitely have is 36. So let's see, 27.90 minus 25% through our coupon. That gets us close, or we need to change our price here. So 36.86 right there. And then we also get 6% off with our discounted gift card. Don't forget that. So not quite. So we were able to look through this listing a lot faster than just like randomly clicking through variations, right? Because we're able to see what's the most expensive version of this that's actually in stock on my source. And in this case, none of them were profitable enough. So that's totally fine. Let's keep on moving here. I don't remember what we were getting thus far. I think it was more than like 1580 or whatever. A lot of times when you're sourcing, it just comes down to like intuition as well. Like the more items you look at, the better you'll get at picking things that are more likely to be profitable. For example, this right here is just like a pretty standard polo. Surely we can get that for like 26 bucks, right? In this case, seems like it's initially pulling up at 23. Maybe the hard part is getting that particular color, because I see sherbet and chambray. Let's see, are any of those colors? Doesn't seem like it. What we can do is put the color seller in quotation marks. That way, like, it has to be included in the Google search results. And I'm not seeing anything there. So we can actually do what we just did with the underwear though. So we can just see, hey, of all the versions that are on this listing, what's the most expensive? And do we have that version in stock? So this is just beige heather, which we do have. Okay, cool. So you see how we go right here. I just moused over it and it says beige heather. This is the medium and it's going for consistently like 50 bucks. Worst case, it was selling for 32 for a little bit. Right now it's selling for $65. What are we buying it for? $29.99 plus our discounts. So let's see, 65 right now. So this is right now, it's a great product. It's going to be even better if we add some of our margin boosters here. So 6% and that 25% from the coupon. So yeah, right now it is a little bit more expensive than it normally is. So you see how typically it's, like you're saying, not a $65 item. So it's not going to be consistently over 100% ROI, but it seems like for most of the items history, it was like $54. And then worst case, it was like 34. What happens there? We lose a quarter. That's like a pretty calculated gamble in my mind. And we listed at 65. We see if it sells. If it doesn't, we go to 55 where we're still profitable and it had a history of selling in the past. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Let's just go ahead and call it another 5-unit test order just for the sake of time. So we can go ahead and add 5 times 15. I'll even round down on average, even though we might be able to sell those at 65. So that's going to be another, what, 75 bucks in profit. We can add that to the running total here. We got a couple minutes left for our profit challenge. So let's see, we got like a double XL black. I think we had those, but I don't like this one as much because you see how for most of the history of this item, it's been like $40 to $35. It's not as worthwhile of a kind of a calculated gamble like that other one was, where it's a lot more consistently more expensive. Optic white, cradle pink. Yeah, that's just white to white. Yeah, perfect. So we've got white medium. That one's consistently going for 53. So there's another 15 bucks in profit on these, just because these are going to be like the more expensive versions that probably don't sell quite as well. I'm just going to probably assume a 5-unit test order on these as well. So we can do a 5-unit test order on the mediums. We can also do a 5-unit test order on the extra smalls. So the mediums usually sell for 53. So let's go ahead and add another 75 bucks in profit. And then these extra smalls, just because I see a good history of them selling for 40 to 48. Let's just call it like 45 for the running total here. Another 8 bucks times 5 units, another 40 bucks in profit. Let's see, Cradle Pink is here as well. Usually that's $49, which is still good. Didn't we have Cradle Pink? Could have sworn I saw that. Yeah, we definitely do. So we can buy some of these Cradle Pink extra smalls right here. Let's just call it another 5 units. Some of these, like I said, we could buy more if you look at the offers on all these, but just to see what kind of damage we can do in a limited time, I want to look through these items as fast as possible. Another 5 units of profit there. So go ahead and add 60 bucks in profit to the running total. And we're coming up on the 15-minute challenge here. So let's see what we could do in the last couple seconds here. We got this extra large optic white. We already know that's profitable. And that one is more consistently around like 50. So now we've got another, let's just call it 60 bucks in profit to add to the total here. So this is a pretty good kind of rabbit trail here for sure. Using this specific seller's storefront, we just looked at one storefront, one brand that they carry, and we're able to find a few $100 here in 15 minutes. So really a ton of opportunity with this. When it comes to selling these products, by the way, if you're still held up on the gating process, so if you've ever tried to sell items on Amazon, you'll realize that you need approval to sell certain brands in certain categories. In this case, all we would do is just get our 10 units from the brand's website directly. I don't know how we could buy from a more trusted supplier as far as Amazon's concerned. And then you just upload the invoice from Tommy Hilfiger, which they're going to email to you when you purchase the item. Upload that to Seller Central and you get approved to sell that brand. It's normally if you have to submit multiple times, by the way, which is kind of part of the game. Keep submitting that invoice, you'll get approved to sell this brand. And when you're looking through these storefronts, whatever other brands, as long as they're accepting applications when you go to list the item, you're going to be good to go. You can submit the invoice from wherever you bought it profitably, as long as it is a trusted retailer or like a legit wholesaler. The other thing to keep in mind as you're running a time efficient business is after you've sourced all these items, you just go ahead and list this item on Amazon using Boxum. Boxum is the software that makes listing on Amazon, tracking your Amazon profit, all that good stuff as fast as possible. And Boxum also just added its own custom AI. So it's the first AI assistant that's specifically for Amazon sellers. That's a really cool tool to play around with. You can talk to Boxy AI at no extra cost. All you need to do is get a 2-week free trial of Boxum, which is the software you need anyway. So I'd really encourage you to go ahead and check out 2-week free trials of Boxum and SellerAmp down below so you can get serious about your Amazon business. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Always happy to chat with you guys down below in the comments section. And if you want to spend 2 seconds showing me some love for free, you can hit the subscribe button. Help me hit my goal of 100,000 subscribers. And if you want even more detail on selling on Amazon, I made you a full 4-hour-long free Amazon course. You can check that out right here.